Hello, my friends. How are you doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Today, I wanted to talk to you to continue my herbal talks. I'll be doing this every Friday, but today we're going to talk about Feverfew. And this can be used in substitution of aspirin, Tylenol, ibuprofen. If you want to use those chemical compounds, which I just wish they weren't even on the market, but you can use herbal medicines like Feverfew for minor aches and pains, headaches, the same thing you'd use aspirin or ibuprofen or Tylenol for. The only difference is you don't get any chemicals, you don't get medicine head. Ibuprofen is actually made from petroleum byproducts with other chemicals added. So you're not taking anything natural or anything good for you. And you don't get the medicine head and all this stuff with herbal medicines, which I really hate, that foggy medicine heady kind of feel. This way you can take something and it helps with the pain, the headaches, and you don't have those after effects with it or upset stomach or anything like that. So highly recommend this instead of the over-the-counter pain medications. And this is something that I take whenever I need to take it, and it's very effective with the headaches and the backaches, and the same thing you would take the general pain reliever for, like the aspirin, ibuprofen, or Tylenol, which is a poison, and you really should not have that in your system. So let me tell you a little bit about it. If you were to be in the wild and you needed to forage, and for medicinal purposes, for pain reliever, you could take this in substitutive. It's about the same potency as an aspirin, I would guess. And an adult, say 150 pounds or over, could probably take 3 capsules. I put all mine in capsules. 800 milligrams. You could probably take 3 capsules at a time. And you could take it probably, I'm saying once every 6 hours is what I would recommend. The leaves and flowers are used medicinally. Typical doses are 2 to 3 leaves per day, with a proportionately reduced dose for children over the age of 3. Never give it to children under the age of 3 because it's a little too harsh for their system. But if you have a child over 3 or up, you can give them a third of the dosage that you would give to an adult. So remember, on Feverfew, it's a third of an adult dosage. Migraines and tension headaches. Taking Feverfew regularly works as a preventative for migraine headaches, and it must be taken regularly to work. That's one thing about herbal medicines, is that they do flush out of your system quite quickly. So you do need to be repetitive with them. It's not like the chemical crap that they give you that sticks in your system for days. The medicinal herbs do flush out fairly quickly. So consistency in taking them is very important. If you're taking Feverfew to ward off migraines and bad headaches, then you have to take it, like I would say, take a couple every day. And it will help ward, it's not going to completely stop them, but it will help to ward them off. And they won't be as vicious, shall we say, as they would be normally. Feverfew can work in a few ways: as an anti-inflammatory, by inhibiting smooth muscle contraction, as an analgesic, and by inhibiting blood pellet aggregation or blood clotting. It may also help other mechanisms, and it's still under study. To prevent migraines, as a preventative, chew 1 to 4 leaves a day, or drink 1 cup of Feverfew tea, or use as a daily tincture. And almost any herb you can make into a tincture, which a lot of people prefer. It's liquid, and you can mix it in water or juice or something to make it easier to take. The tea is a bit bitter, but if you add honey to it, it makes it more tolerable. I prefer taking capsules. I put most of my medicines into these little capsules. And they're 600 to 800 milligrams a day. This is a 00 capsule. This way, like I've said before, that you can take your, whatever the herb is that you're taking, whatever medicine you need, put it in here. You can just swallow it down, and you don't have to worry about the taste, because a lot of herbs have distasteful tastes. That's why the medicines back in the olden days, they used to say, instead of saying take your medicine, they say you got to take your bitters. The reason they called it that is because it is bitter. And so, and hence the expression, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, because they would mix their herbal medicines in with a teaspoon of sugar, especially for children, to help it go down better, to get them to take it. Because quite honestly, herbs, when you take them, any herbs, you take them out of the wild or domestic, you grind them up, they're really not going to taste that good. So if you take your bitters, take it either in pill form, which is what I prefer, or you can take it in a cup of tea. You use the flowers and the fresh leaves, you dry them, and it'll turn out like this. You can chop them and dry them. And this is Feverfew. And this is how I get it. It's chopped and dried, but it's still in a coarse form. So to put them in capsules, I have to grind them in my little coffee grinder and make them into powder, which is really easy. Those little coffee grinders that you get, I wear mine out quickly because I use it so much, but they work perfectly, the little coffee grinders, to powder your herbs. Sometimes if you chew the leaves to prevent migraines, some people can develop sores in their mouth from chewing it regularly. So then you're going to want to switch to powdered in pill form, or you're going to put it into a tincture. And it's also a good treatment for tension. I get tension headaches. So, and the Feverfew, if I take 2 or 3 of those, and it probably takes about 45 minutes to work, but it does work, and it relieves my headache. As a matter of fact, I don't take any over-the-counter or prescription medications at all anymore, except I do take thyroid. And that's the only thing that you cannot duplicate with an herb. That comes from a hormone. You extract it from notoriously pig hormone, and then whatever they do to it to make it into thyroid medication. Excuse me. Except for the United States. They don't do that. They make it out of chemicals. And believe me, I researched it, and there is no herbal medicine that can replace thyroid medication. But if you want to get the natural stuff, you can get it from Mexico or Canada, if you can get it, and it's quite expensive. Feverfew, it gets its name from traditional use, treating fevers, which is kind of the same thing. If you have a fever, you take a couple aspirin, and it breaks your fever. Well, rather than aspirin, take the Feverfew. It's natural, it's healthy, and you're not getting any chemical crap. It breaks the fever and treats the aches and pains associated with cold and flu. Pretty much like aspirin or ibuprofen. Use it as in the same way. It'll help. You know how ladies get cramps, especially young girls. And it helps to regulate you a little bit better if you take it on a regular basis. To harvest, you're going to harvest the leaves and the flowers shortly after the flowers appear in the early summer, and then dry a large supply of it for future use. And you can powder them and encapsulate them, which is what I showed you that I do. And as always, when you use an herb for the first time, always take a small amount and then wait and see if you have any reaction to it. Because some people are allergic to certain herbs, so you're going to want to catch that early. Don't take a big dose and make yourself sick if you find out you're allergic. So you want to take a little bit, and chewing the leaves, just chew like one of the leaves and wait for like an hour or so and see if there's any reaction to it. And if not, you should be good to go. And if you do have any kind of reaction to it, it can cause mouth sores or rashes. If you're allergic to ragweed, marigold, or chrysanthemum, you might also have a reaction to feverfew. So keep that in mind. And it's very important not to use it during pregnancy because it can cause contractions. And don't do it if you take blood coagulation medication. So if you need to have the blood coagulation problems, don't take feverfew because it will not be a good thing for you. So that's the way that we use feverfew. It's a little bit of a background, and it is a weed, but it's a very beneficial weed. And you can get it, like I said, I order this right now because I don't have any growing, which I will soon, I hope. And it comes rough like this, already cut for you and dried. And I get mine from Mountain Rose Herbs, which I like the quality of their herbs. Star West Botanicals is another good one, and Frontier has good quality as well. And then I powder it in my little coffee grinder, and then I use my capsulation machine and I make little capsules. And that's the way I use feverfew. But it's an excellent thing to use in place of aspirin or ibuprofen or Tylenol, anything like that that is a minor pain reliever. Use the feverfew instead. You feel better, and it does the same thing, and you're not getting the chemicals, which we don't need, and you don't get that medicine head that makes you kind of, drowsy or kind of groggy or kind of foggy in the head. So I highly recommend feverfew. I use it all the time. Like I said, I don't use any over-the-counter stuff anymore. All of my medicines are all herbal medicines. And I'll tell you what, I feel better physically and than I have in years. And I even make my own vitamin, and I will get into that at another time and show you how to make your own herbal medicines and your own herbal vitamins. So that's about it today. It's kind of a short one, but I just wanted to let you know about feverfew. Every Friday I'm going to talk about a different herb and what they can do for you, and I'm excited about it because it makes you feel so much better. I'm teaching other people about it in my life, people that I meet, anybody that will listen, because it is so much better. The pharmaceutical companies are just poisoning us. That's all it is. And we need to get back to the natural medicines that God gave us in the first place. So hopefully some of you will try these and learn how to use them and make this for yourself. And it actually is so beneficial. And I can't express how much better you will feel using the natural stuff and get away from the garbage. So we'll talk to you guys later. I love you all. Have a good day, and take care of yourselves and stay well. Goodbye.